Now we're just going to jump into ZBrush and take a look at how we would address the mouth. All right. So inside of the old ZBrushy, let's go into our document and let's change our range to 0. And as usual, I want to bring in some reference for myself, right? Reference is very, very, very helpful whenever you're doing any of your sculpts. Don't forget to bring it in, right? You go into your texture right up here, open up your image plane, and then you go load image plane. And then if you haven't yet, I would suggest that you go and download all of the anatomy reference that I have placed in the thread named Anatomy for Sculptors. All right. Okay, so brought it in as a plane. That's kind of annoying. Let's append a go to my textures. I'm gonna go front, load image. Let's load my mouth reference. The reason my image is dark is because right now my gradient is set to something super low. So I'll just drag this up to white, and I want to change it to either the basic material, the basic. These are new. I'm not used to these. Either the basic material, blend is new. Yeah, any of these are fine. You just want something like a basic, even the matte cap gray is just fine. You just want something kind of neutral that you can use. All right. So for the mouth, I told you I treat it kind of like an orange, like a half cut orange. That where's my clip curve? Something like that. So that's how I would treat the mouth, as a piece kind of like that. All right, that would fit over the and then if I wanted to, I can go back into my texture, and then what I want to do is I can reduce my model opacity so I can see a little bit through it. All right. Once again, when I start modeling, if I hit X on my keyboard, this brings up my symmetry tool. All right. So you can either start by just going off of what you see, right? All right. So what I'd like to do is just kind of outline the mouth itself. So as you can see, I like to make it like something like that. Let's go BDS. That's our Damien standard tool. And then I'll use this to kind of draw a lip. If I start here, let me go. Boom, like so. And then you can do the same for the bottom. And then you can use this, let go of Alt. Boom. Alright, this could be your start. Right, and you see why the orange kind of helps, because it kind of gives us that general spherical shape of it. All right, and then you have your right, and that'll be your chin. So I'd go BCB, clay buildup. All right, and then remember, there's always that little piece, and then you can kind of build up from there. And as you can see, I didn't have to do too much, and I'm already having something that looks a little more robust. I'm going to reduce my intensity a little bit, just so I can then start to, my smooth is a little intense. More. All right, BDS. Okay, BMV. All right, we can use the move tool. Right, use this to kind of pull out our guy's. He's got a very Chad-like chin. Well, he's got a soft chin. Right, it's up to you. And then we can still use this to affect the lips, how the lips look, how they go in. BDS, that's my Damien standard tool. Right, and I can still go back in and then cut in for the corner of this mouth. Shift smooth it out a little bit. BCB, that's my clay buildup brush. Right, and then I can use that to kind of really define some of these upper bits. Right, we've got this divot. Right, this divot that's right above the tubercle, right there. Just smoothing it out. Right, and you can start to really build something interesting very, very quickly. So now I'm just going over to my side profile over here, just using this BMV. I can use this to move some of these pieces back over. All right, depending on the pucker of the lip. All right, we shift, smooth it out a little bit more. BDS, and go back into our Damien standard again. All right. Go BMV so I can move some of these shapes around. Right. Just you want to find the relationship between all of these. So I go to my geometry, divide a little bit, BMV, I can move this, just shift smooth a little bit, right? We can pronounce this or make it much more subtle, right? BCB. BDS.
Kind of looks like Kermit the Frog from the side.
I'm trying to go BCP and then so you're just going big, small shapes. You're doing subtle actions, shift smooth. And then if you're having, kind of issues with how smooth it is, because I've seen some of that with some of the stuff that I've been looking at where it just looks like you're over laboring the piece, right? You can turn on your lazy mouse and then that should give you turn on lazy mouse and then that should give you a little bit of help. So I just go to my stroke, lazy mouse, and then I turn on a little bit of the radius and then the smooth. So what that does is it gives me that ability to get that in. got my Kermit going on. So for that, I can just BMV, kind of start moving some of these pieces down a little bit. Right. And then what you can do is you can isolate some of these pieces. I can isolate this like this. So now anytime anything I move, all that's moving is what's not. So I can really shift, smooth this out if I want to. Right, and then BDS, then start over. Right. Without affecting the stuff that I do like on the other side. BCB, my clay buildup brush. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna exaggerate, exaggerating it a little bit, but you guys can really see what's really going on. And then BCB a little bit here. Maybe give a little bit of fullness back in here. Shift smooth. BMV, you can still and I can do the same for the top. Alright. Alright, let's go to our texture. Just the opacity a little bit. Right. And then if you want to, you can go even further. Let's divide it one more time, and then we can add, some more details to it. Alright, BDS. Really make that pronounced. I think a lot of the issues that some of you guys may be having is you're not turning down the settings of your brushes, right? So everything is at 100 or everything is at 99, when you'll do very well if everything is at 16 or 14 or even 1. See, it's easier to go from something soft than trying to pull back. So try to go softer on some of your brushes whenever you're doing some of the parts. So. See, and another problem is, like, you see how I'm trying to do Damien Standard at this high level? When it comes to doing Damien Standard at this high level, it's not going to be able to pull as many polygons as if it were like this. Where this, I can do big changes versus when I get to something like that. So you want to make sure that you're pretty locked in whenever you're trying to do what you're trying to do. See how much, like, that's so nuts. Alright, so let's just let's finish this guy up. Let's give him so let's do mask pen. Alright. I think this, I don't know if this is a goatee or a Van Dyke. I don't know what fucking hairstyle this is. This is it's not a Fu Manchu, that's for sure. Let's give him let's give him the I worship Satan. Here we go. Or the I part-time as a pimp. There we go. We go to our light box. I'll show you guys this guy, and then you go to fiber mesh, and then you can give him a little bit of fuzz. Alright, let's see.
A lot of fuzz.
Oh, okay. Alright, so what you can do is, if you go to your fiber mesh, you can go to your modifier, and then you can, let's modify the length profile. There we go.
Hey,
you owe me $250.
oh my god, you know what, this reminds me of this one video that I saw where this guy, he's an animator,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that he did kept getting just basically covered up by the special effects team. Like, all of his hard work just kept getting covered up, and that beard with max length just completely nullified
nullified everything.
the mouth.
So yeah, there we go. This looks more apropos. Clean shaven, ready to hit the Las Vegas nightlife. Alright. So yeah, this is gonna be what you guys are responsible for. Not the beard part, just the mouth part. If you want to do a beard, that's up to you. You can definitely do some sort of facial hair to your character, but yeah. Like I said, I want to make it a short class today. There is some sort of thunderstorm rolling in, so stay safe out there. Do you guys have any questions for me before I wrap this session up?